morning. It is a beautiful, cloudy spring morning here in Northeast Texas, and it's been raining for several days now, and I wanted to get out and see what was coming up in the garden, so I thought I would bring you along. We're starting here in the woodland garden, and I have several hostas coming up. They're just beautiful. This one is Patriot hosta that I planted last year. I can see that something has nibbled off one of the pips, so I'll be out here with some slug and snail bait again this afternoon, or maybe when we're done here. This is a beautiful hosta that is Minuteman, and I just planted that a few weeks ago from a bare root. It's coming up. Over there, another one's coming up. It's protected until it gets a little taller. Over here is Hosta Franci. This was planted last year as well. I don't see a lot of nibbling on that one. I think we're doing okay. And then this beautiful one that's coming up is Olivia Bailey Langdon. I have two of those that I, again, planted from bare root. So we're gonna protect it a little bit longer. We do have deer and rabbits and probably snails and slugs in here as well. Here's another one coming up. Let's see what this one is. Oh, this is another Olivia Bailey Langdon. Olive Bailey Langdon. Sorry, it looks like that one got some damage, but they're all just the start of my woodland garden that I'm trying to nurture here under the pine trees. And I'm just noticing the elephant ear coming back. We had such a wet year last year that it was fantastic. It was great big and bloomed over and over again. And then around the corner, I have these climbing roses that were here when we bought the property. Try to give you some perspective. There are 3 roses that were so out of control. I've never grown roses before, so I didn't really know what to do with them. Last year, I cut them all the way to the ground based on the recommendation of a patient I was visiting with. Roses are a thing here in Tyler, Texas, and so everybody knows a little bit about them. She said, go ahead, cut them back, it'll be fine. So I did, and again, they grew wild and crazy. So this year I decided I would try to give them some structure to grow on. So we put these cattle panel arches up, 2 arches between the 3 plants. And where the plants reached to grow, they're doing really well. But you can see over here, this section is where these wouldn't quite reach over, and they're already flopped and down. I'll have to figure out something for that. But they're beautiful red roses. They're so pretty. I don't know what it is, but I think last year they only bloomed once and then they didn't bloom again. So we'll see what they do now, but they have just dozens and dozens of beautiful buds on them. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that behaves. There's obviously a few more that need training up after the last bit of growth with the rain. And this is the herb bed. You can tell how much rain we've gotten because of many, many mushrooms growing in it. I take that as a sign of good soil health. I do have onions planted in a wagon wheel fashion all around the herb bed. This is my first time to grow onions. We do have rabbits, so I was attempting to keep the rabbits from coming into the herb garden by planting onions all around. A few of the things are doing well. This is chamomile that came back, and some catnip and oregano there. I have several little sage plants. I was trying to keep each wagon wheel section divided into plant type. And then the biggest surprise was these stevia plants that came back. They're beautiful. I had 2 stevia last year that were kind of scrawny, and I was able to dry some and save it for tea. But now they came back, and so they look like they're going to be really healthy. This is the chive plant in full flower, and then the thymes, several different kinds of thyme. Lots of different basils over there. Those are seedlings I planted last weekend, I believe. And then in the middle, there is a circle of echinacea and 3 holy basil plants, seedlings, planted in the middle. So hopefully that will make a nice centerpiece. Over here at the edge of the backyard, I have what we believe are wild blackberries. I'm waiting to see what develops, but I think they are some kind of berry. They're thorny and viney. I don't remember them from last year, but we were so new to the property last year, I didn't explore as much. And then the raised bed garden, the piece de resistance, is almost finished. We've been filling the beds. I think we need 1 more load of bulk compost to top off these 2. The one nearest me is going to have sweet potatoes in it, and then the far bed will have 2 blueberry plants. They've been ordered, and a variety that, actually 2 varieties that do well in Texas. And then this is the planted garden. We had some storms and there was concern for hail, so most of the plants are covered. I also know that we have deer going through, and even though they haven't found the gardens yet, they will, and it will be a buffet. So trying to keep things covered until I can get the fence built up around it. And then look at this. We have some baby cucumbers. And there's another baby cucumber over there. So they are going to grow up this cattle panel arch. I'm going to have cucumbers on this side and hopefully cantaloupe on the other side. So that's where things stand here in the spring, what we have going on. I'm looking forward to watching it through this first full growing season, and I'll try to update periodically, mostly for my own journaling benefit, but I'm gonna put it out there for the world and be a little vulnerable. Have a good day. Happy gardening.